Welcome back, Rankers. Big news today. Well, if you're a nerd like me, it's big news anyway. Google has just once again announced some new changes to its search algorithm. Now, in case you missed it, that's been about, 4 or 5 changes in the last 3 months, I guess. Keeping up. If you are going to do this yourself, you've really got to keep up on these things. I would suggest following the Google Webmaster blog and a bunch of other SEO blogs out there that you might that are up with the news of what's happening with Google, because there is a lot happening all the time. Okay, so what have they done this week? Well, some are saying this is in response to Twitter search. I'm not convinced about that because, quite frankly, it takes a long time for these things to be rolled out. And Twitter search is a different sort of search tool to what Google is. In case you're wondering, Twitter search, it's basically what it says. Twitter search, if you go to search.twitter.com, you can type a search phrase in there and it will search tweets from other people and will structure them in the most recent tweet will be first. Some are saying Google's rolling out these new options over here. All you've got to do is click show options. The search we've done is SEO Melbourne. We're number 1. And you'll see down the side here, down the left-hand side, we've got all these different options now. And one of the main things that is interesting in the Twitter argument is that you can look for results in the past 24 hours, in the past week, in the past year. So I can type in Australian Federal Budget, and we've got budget.gov.au, which is probably a fairly old page. We've got the 07-08 budget. Okay, not relevant to what happened in Australia last night, which was the new federal budget was released. So we can say recent results here. And then that will tell us from 2 hours ago the ABC was reporting on the budget. So much more time-relevant results. Also, we can just have a look at the images relating to that phrase. So once again, if you haven't got, if you're not naming your images within your site with your keywords in it, you really should consider doing that. Make it logical. Don't spam it. But if you've got an image that is like in this one, taxes, why not just call that image Australian Federal Budget Taxes image? So that's the sort of thing that you would do. The other interesting thing that I like is this thing called the Wonder Wheel down here. Doesn't really do much. And in fact, in this particular search, it does nothing whatsoever. So we'll just type in the word budget. Oh, let's type in the word cheese. Because I like cheese. What's not to like? Okay. One of the reasons I like cheese as a search is that it's a good example of major brands not being associated with relevant key phrases. If you type in cheese, Kraft doesn't rank on the front page for the word cheese, which I think is interesting, considering that Bega does. Okay, we get this thing called the Wonder Wheel. And basically what it's doing, it's grabbing a whole lot of related searches and putting them in a wheel, so giving it a visual representation. And you can see if you click on one of those, it takes you off to other related searches. But in this particular case, I don't know why it's... Yeah, that's what it usually does. So it gives you an idea of not only what content is out there that Google's finding and indexing, but in this particular case, I would use this also as another keyword analysis checker. So, you're using Google Insights for search, you're using the Google AdWords keyword tool, you're using maybe Google Trends, you're possibly using the Google toolbar and the search suggestions in that. Maybe you're using something like Word Tracker or a few of those other things. Well, this is another cross-checking tool that you can use to say, well, okay, well, the key phrase that I thought was popular isn't featuring in this. So it's just another way to double-check to see whether your keywords are relevant. So have a try of that, have a bit of a play with it. I'd be very interested in what people think about this new feature. I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh my God, SEO is dead. And well, it's not. I mean, you've still got to remain at the top of the search results. And if anything, if you're in a industry where there's a lot going on, not necessarily the cheese sauce industry. But if you're in an industry, I'm sure there's a lot going on in the cheese sauce industry. But if you're in an industry where there's constantly changes happening, there's a lot about it in the press, I would suggest that you really need to have a look at and keep an eye on the time-based search over here, just to see who's in front of you, because I think that's a very powerful tool for Google to have. In fact, there's several times I wanted to use it myself. Now, the difference between time-based search and their normal algorithm is basically that you've still got to hit all the keyword elements, if you like, or the on-page keyword elements to make sure that you still rank for that time-based keyword search. So, for instance, if I just put up a page and had the key phrase maybe once down the bottom of the page, and it was only an hour ago, and Google had indexed it, Google's still not going to rank that number one. If there's another page that's more relevant to that phrase that was updated around the same time frame. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. And if not, give us a call, and we'll help you out. A quick question from Russell this week. Russell Lester has asked us, what are the top 5 questions that you would ask a web developer to see if they know anything about SEO? Well, there's probably only one question, and that would be, can you point me at a site that you've SEO'd? Then, what I would do is go to that site, see if you can pick up what the key phrase is. You should be able to, if it's been SEO'd well, it should be fairly obvious to you. And then Google that phrase. If the site ranks, the people know their stuff. If it doesn't, give us a call. And that's it for this week's show. Remember, if you do have questions, you can send them in via Twitter, or as some people are doing now, via Facebook, and but not via normal email, because I'll never get to it. Sorry about that. You'll get filtered pretty quickly. And we'll see you next week. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.